Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves and conquesting other things around you. You have dominion as long as you recognize it, my friends. Seen a lot of great videos lately from other people. We'll talk about some stages. I saw a couple good videos from, I think it's God's Growth, or God's Growth, and motivation, a couple motivation types of videos, and we'll talk about those at some point as well. I like to kind of always go back and look what other people are doing, and they're doing some good stuff out there, so that's a good thing. So we'll continue to kind of give you guys information on things as we see it, and go from there. Today we're going to talk about God's Gladiator had a great idea about vampire suckers and narcissistics during SR. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's do some shout outs first. Lykkos, thank you, my friend. Our Jagger, thank you. Angel, the Canadian Drifter, Marvin Lang, Verni, Black Recluse number 2.0, thank you. Sistergrimace, thank you. Not available, as always, thank you, not available. Cdheidt, thank you. Glory be to God, thank you. Marvin Lang again. Spirit of Adventure. Foodchaser 716. Alan. Brian Peraz, thank you. Alan Fitzy, thank you. Desi. John Jennings. Gio the Genius. Knowledge Harvester. Lykkos, a lot of great people always kind of chiming in, giving their great opinions. 1M, thank you. I know LMAO, thank you. The Vainakh Tribe, thank you. Ben3113 from Australia, welcome, my friend, thank you. Ryan Uno, NizJazzBTC, John Jennings, and not available as well. So thank you guys for all your comments. I'm going to continue. I got a big back list of ones to get to, so I will do that as soon as I can get to them. I appreciate all the comments. So at the 2-minute mark, guys, we are going to talk about God's Gladiator's comments talking about vampire suckers and narcissistic people on your journey of SR. And so as we look at this, let's take a step back as we always do. The reason we're doing this is for self-improvement, self-control, and in spiritual enlightenment. These are the reasons why we do what we're doing. If you're doing it for other reasons, you're probably not going to see the same kind of benefits, or you may be more frustrated because you're doing it for like women's attraction, other types of things. So if you're not in a stage of life that you really want that, then you might want to reconsider and doing something else or moderation of this. It is very powerful, but it's not easy, and we talk about this. And one of the biggest challenge of this is how people around you will react to you when you do this. Your high level of energy, your aura, your change in your personality, your change in your physical nature, your change in your everything about you changes because you keep all that energy inside of you. You're keeping all that nutrition, you're keeping all those nutrients within you, and people are going to notice it, especially women of the opposite sex, because they see a man of self-control. And when it comes to women, women want security, emotionally, physically. So they want to be somebody who is physically strong, and you look stronger every time you retain. They want emotional, and you don't get as upset. You're more self-control. They also want somebody who is raises a level of emotional type of movement, not drama, but movement on them. You can do that as well when semen retention. You have all those things to attract women. Subconsciously, women will also be attracted to you because you're a man of self-control. So being that's the case, you now have to kind of think to yourself, okay, what types of challenges do I have when it comes to retention? Because if this was this easy, we wouldn't have just 1% of the people doing this, and we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this as an epidemic in the other direction of people who can't control themselves. So the whole thought pattern is we have to try to figure out ways to continually try to transmute that energy. Now, there's lots of reasons why people fail. Obviously, not being able to transmute, giving up if they don't see things happening right away, all those things we've talked about. But one of the key factors is the people around you and how they influence you. There's going to be people who are going to tell you, you're crazy. This is like conspiracy theory kind of stuff. Don't go ahead and retain. You should be letting this go. You're suppressing all your sexual energy. You're going to end up killing yourself. You're going to explode one issue over another, and you're going to have all kinds of issues because of this. And so the whole idea is there's a lot of fear out there, a lot of misinformation, a lot of things happening where people are telling you, don't do this. Now, there's two things that are happening with people that you get around you. The first of which is the person who's the narcissist. That person's going to be around you for many reasons. A, they have a vested interest. They're narcissists because they think about themselves 90% of the day. They're not really givers, they're takers. So they're going to go ahead and try to get as much out of you as they can. And one of the biggest things they want is they want your energy. They want your attention. They want you to focus your energy not on themselves, but they want you to focus their energy on you. And that's one of the key things that you have to kind of look at. Because the more you give energy to people, the more they're going to want you to give more energy and more time, more money, all those type of things. Once you start saying no and you're doing your own thing, then they'll come chasing you because they really need that and they can't understand why all of a sudden you've changed. And when you're going through in retention, you're making some radical changes. Whether you see that or not, whether it takes time or not, you're going to experience that. People are going to experience that. They're going to end up sitting there looking at you. They'll be staring at you, figuring out what's going on here. Why do I have a different reaction when I'm with you than I did before? And the narcissist is going to basically say, okay, well, how can I get that energy? How can I get to feel that way? Because all I know is that I feel a certain positive vibe or energy around you when I see you. And I like being around you, so I want to continue that because I'm very self-centered. I'm very much into myself. And so you're going to see a lot of narcissistic people around you all the time, males and females, because they want to be around someone who exudes a positive confidence and energy about themselves, and you just have that aura that's unstoppable because you have that great power, because you're able to realize an enlightenment about what's important. You're getting out of, little by little, you're getting out of the physical world and you're going into a higher level, a spiritual level, which is different than 90% of the people, 99% of the people in the world. So you're going to get those people who are very narcissistic who are going to try to knock you down. They don't want you succeeding because it makes them look bad, especially if you're, somebody who is married to somebody or going out with somebody or friends with people, and you're going to end up making them look bad because of all this powerful energy you now have. You might have been one way before, now you're a whole different way now. And it makes a big difference with these individuals because now they have to try to rise to your level. And they will struggle with that because A, they don't want to do this, or B, they don't even know how to do this. And all of a sudden now you're on a different path. You're running your own race. You're a horse running their own race. You're running your own marathon. And they can't catch up with you. And that makes them jealous and upset. And they want to do everything they can, but they're not going to be able to do that. So they're going to try and knock you down, discourage you, give you negative feedback, all those things to try to control you. That's the way of the narcissist. You got to be careful of that. Now, the other person that really is going to be a person who's going to kind of be a barrier, challenge, is the vampire sucker. Now, we've talked about this. I talked about this early in a lot of my videos early on a couple years ago. And I haven't really talked about it all that much because it's not something you're going to have to deal with it. But naturally, as you do this longer, it becomes second nature. You kind of figure out who these people are. But the idea is this person is going to want to suck your energy dry. You cannot let that happen. They're going to do it in a couple of different ways. But the vampire sucker will go ahead and try to suck your energy dry. First of all, physically. Especially if they're a female. And especially if they like you to that level that they want your energy. They will suck you dry. They will have intercourse with you all the time. They will want you to release. They may even do some types of behavior to make it easier for your release, right? And you guys kind of know what I'm talking about with that. You're basically going to have women who do that. But again, you have to have a level of self-control. And if you have that level of self-control, you're not even putting yourself in those positions. I had another topic we were talking about, what about working the night shift? Well, that's a dangerous situation at night. Night is where you have to really kind of find things to do, go to sleep, get away from the situation. If you have to work, focus on trying the best you can to do your work. Don't focus on things that are other outside of work, because that's going to get you in trouble. And the same thing can be said about the vampire suckers. These vampires who come out at night, as I said, they're dangerous, because what they want to do is suck your energy. I've seen many cases like this where men and women, and I've done work with therapy and helping people out, and I've seen this over and over again. What ends up happening is that women will tend to sleep with men will sleep with them, men will drain themselves out several days, and the woman doesn't want them anymore. They're not interested. And the male now becomes very anxious and upset, and now they're chasing the woman, and it's really a deadly situation for that male, because they become very submissive. They're not really happy, and all of a sudden now that person really is under the control of the other person, because they fell for the sexual behaviors and they released all their energy. So in this situation, you have to be very wise to what this person really wants. It may look like, and we'll talk about this in another video, about that conquest of someone who has a mentality of conquesting others. That's a dangerous game you're playing, because if you're sitting there trying to conquest a person, they're really conquesting you, especially when it comes to men and women. You want to conquest the men, but you're giving your energy to that woman, if you're releasing, especially. And if you're giving your energy to that woman, she's sucking you. You're transferring the energy. She's becoming more like you, and you're losing you, and you're getting more of her. So the more you're doing this, it doesn't surprise me you become a lot more feminine as time goes on, because you're losing a lot of your energy. Now, if you're able to control your energy, that's obviously a different situation. I still would not recommend it, because you still have the emotional energy and whatever energy you end up losing. But the thing is that you don't want to get yourself in those dangerous situations to begin with, and you got to stay away from that. Of course, if a person you're married to or someone you're with and you're procreating, that's a whole different type of thing. Depending on what religion you are and all those type of things, that's something you have to kind of decide upon. But the bottom line is here, you got to stay away from those energy suckers, those vampire suckers, because all they really want is your energy. And that's what they're attracted to. And once that's gone, they'll leave you. They may come back again when you have more energy. But the bottom line is this, is that they want your energy. And they will find ways to do this. Now, they may not even know what they're doing consciously. This may be a subconscious type of thing, which it is in many cases. But they know they feel good. I'll give you a prime example. If you have intercourse with a young lady, 9 times out of 10, the male falls asleep and the female is wide awake, full of energy. Why? Well, let's think about it logically. You gave up your energy to that young lady, and now she's feeling energy, and she's feeling revitalized. And a lot of women, because they lose energy during the month, they don't get all their energy back. And so what ends up happening is that over time, they're looking for energy. Now, I'm not saying this is a conscious type of thing, though I'm sure there's women out there and men out there that think about this as consciously. But you do have women who need that energy. This is what makes them whole. They need more of that energy back. And so because of that, then they end up finding men, and they grab men, and then this is what the whole process is. And so the warriors, you have to be aware that when you think that you're this conquesting person who's out there, taking advantage, getting women, taking advantage of them, having sex with all kinds of women, you're really killing yourself, because you're giving that energy to other people, especially when you're releasing. Which is, most men, it's very difficult not to release when you're doing something like that. So the whole thing is that it's a dangerous game you're playing all around. But when you're on this journey, especially as you begin this journey, and you're trying to kind of change some bad habits you have, these are two people you have to guard against. Two people you have to guard against are the vampire suckers and the narcissistic people. Those people only want to drain your energy. They want your time and energy, and they will suck it up any way they can. And you got to avoid those type of people as you do this. So, guys, Gladiator, a great comment. I think that we always have to kind of keep those in mind. I've done some videos way back in the beginning on these. It's always good to kind of reflect back and see that and realize that not everybody's going to be happy with the journey you're on. And the journey you're on of celibacy, brahmacharya, sophism, that abstinence, that semen retention, you're not going to have everybody be on your side. In most part, you're going to have people who are against you. Especially they're going to think you're crazy. They think you're a conspiracy theory. They think that this is solely against what they hear in society every day. And it is, because you look at the media, and the media wants you to release 3 or 4 times a day. But when you're at this point, all of a sudden, you're looking at a whole different type of thing. All right, so anyway, enough of this, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, thanks for God's Gladiator and the rest of you guys for the shout-outs. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you got something out of this one. All right, until next time, 2 things always. First of all, every day is a new day to a wise warrior, and you guys are, each one of you, very wise and wonderful. And number 2, guys, we have to continue to always remember this is a battle, so we have to always continue to battle on! Have a great day, guys. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.